Look now at what's happening in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Oh, by the way, let me say a very special good morning to our live. Note that you can also catch us live on YouTube at RCL U975, and you can also log on to 975radio.com. Let me say a very special good morning to my colleague this morning, Nicole Duquette. Thank you very much, Nicole, for that horoscope, and good morning to you. But as of at some of the stories published in newspaper, it's 72 pages in total. Today it's Monday, July 6th, 2020. And the Newsday is a chock full of news, views, interviews, and yes, you can also get the latest from the world. You would have heard the news on a Friday. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley would have called on a President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Paula May Weeks, to dissolve Parliament. Nomination day is on July 17th, and yes, the 2020 general election is due on August 10th. So on the front page, Dabadi Omira candidate apologizes for his comment. Yes, PNM flushes Antoine. Former Dabadi Omira MP and candidate Ansel Antoine, whose candidacy was revoked on Sunday. Well, you can catch the details on page 3 of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. And in our 6 o'clock newscast, we told you that the COVID-19 positive cases continue to climb in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, it's 133 thus far.
Okay, 61 people were arrested in Belmont over the weekend by a bar for breaching the public health regulations.
Yeah, and they love to lime. All right, so you can catch that story today also on the Newsday edition. The movement for social by 1994 roadmap.
Today for advice regarding allegations of 2 criminal offenses against a senior police.
All right, and in another political story, the choice of candidate Congress for the safe constituencies.
Representative of Arrive Alive, Kirk Waite, he has launched a new party. It's called the National Organization of We the People.
Yes, Kirk Waite, chairman. As I said, the details of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper.
On the island.
All right, and staying with Tobago on page 5 of today's edition of the Newsday. PDP eyes coalition even with the People's National Movement. Progressive Democratic Patriots political leader Watson Duke, whose party is contesting the 2 Tobago seats for the general election, said the PDP will stack its chips alongside any interested party willing to put Tobago's interests first.
And here we have the police commissioner. Police Commissioner Gary Griffith is knocking the Law Association's call to suspend the 12 officers who were involved in last weekend's killings in Mova.
All right, interesting story there. And on a sad note, well, I don't know how many of you would know of James Liwa. Well, he was a theater icon coming out of San Fernando. Well, he would have passed away. International recognized theater icon James Liwa has died at the age of 89. Yes, us here at 97.5 would like to express our condolences to his family, the theater fraternity, and more so to people in San Fernando who would have been quite familiar.
Outgoing Laventille West MP Fitzgerald Hines said a growing army of idle young men in East Port of Spain poses a danger to Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, I read the story this morning, Nicole, and I was very, very much impressed. No, while Fitzgerald Hines may not be one of my favorite persons, I think that in this instance, he would have been very frank and very outspoken in his comments. Now that story is on page 8. Hines, growing army of idle young men, a danger to Trinidad and Tobago.
That's right. In some other stories coming out of Tobago, again, the Moriah Health 7% completed. Yeah.
All right, and let's focus on CCJ to rule on Guyana's recount challenged on Wednesday. On Wednesday, the Caribbean Court of Justice will give its decision on the appeal, which has challenged the Guyana's Court of Appeal decision relating to that country's March 2nd polls. Now, the details you can get on page 11 of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper.
Okay, Kenrick, we also saw the Trinidad and Tobago motorsport community over the weekend. They mourned the death of Kerry Phillip, the man that they call the Drift King.
The Drift King.
Yes.
All right. I'm not much, but yes.
Yes.
Well, I see it here. Motorsport community mourns a pioneer. Drift King dies in crash. That story is on page 30 of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. So let me urge you, the good people of Trinidad and Tobago, to go outside there and purchase your copy of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Note that it's just $3 and it's available at all leading news. A popular morning program in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. You can catch us live, You Talk, on 975 with yours truly, Kenrick Juggernaut. And sharing the studio with me this morning is Nicole Dookie. And we will be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning. Well, we have some callers on the line. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm hoping it's not going to be one of those mornings where people call and they just hang up, get real mad. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, Kenrick. Good.
Larry.
Good morning.
Good morning, Larry. I thought your name would have been on the list, boy, Larry. But I see your name at all, boy.
Kenrick. I enjoy life, even though I catch him and then I enjoy life, right? But I will not dance to people's drum beat and listen to what they say when I don't think it is real right. But again, the member of parliament from my area has been nominated back or been selected back. I will laugh. I will really laugh because here what we have issues in our community, and that gentleman in question who is going back up for election solve any of it. So for me, I will just laugh. But Kenrick, I want to give you a little story. To go to the forestry division in San Fernando to apply for a permit to cut bamboo. Kenrick, people in this country really had to catch the nana.
Wait, hold on. You have to apply for a permit to cut bamboo?
Yes, Kenrick.
Do you have to get permission for that?
Yes, Kenrick, you have to cut. If it is in a private property, you do not need a permit. But if you're going on state land, you have to apply for a permit. But here what? I went down to forestry division, applied for my permit, had to go back to division in San Fernando to get the permit Friday afternoon. And I'll tell you this much. The permit costs $5, but I spent about $35 in gas.
All right.
This is some of the things that, we have to rectify.
So they can't cost more than the funeral.
The warden office is right in Broadway in San Fernando, which is 5 minutes drive away. Why you cannot go to the warden office in San Fernando? And this is when old people call your program, and pensioners and elderly people who sick. Kenrick, you have to understand that this country is in a mess. Wrong thing, Kenrick, and I have noticed this drastically. Many people who are canvassing right now for election, they are not wearing masks. I'm asking the question this morning, is mask not a requirement anymore? We have just recorded 2 more imported cases. Is mask not a requirement anymore? Because these people hugging up, people kissing each other, shaking hands. Where is the hand sanitizer? Where have all the guidelines gone that the CMO and the Minister of Health has preached within the past 70 days? Where has that booking the establishment to purchase something and I do not wear a mask? No mask, no service. Come on, people. I would like somebody to really, digest this morning and talk about it because 1 minute the health minister and the CMO is saying, wear the mask. When you look at the campaign going on, you see people out of the way, and not only in 500, Kenrick, 50 and 40 and 60 people. Where are the guidelines? Who is taking charge of this? Because I was turned away from a store. I already forgot my mask. Started get on. No mask, no service. Get out of the store. I say, fine. So now, my question is, if the election is going on, right? And you're seeing these people, even, I don't want to call the candidate name, Kenrick. I don't want to cause embarrassment. But look at social media. Look at the videos. Where are the guidelines? Who is now going to respond back to say, well, if you're going to campaign, put on your mask? And according to Mr. Teran Yalsing, not more than how many people, Kenrick? Not more than 25 people? So, here we're going on. These same people who aspire to be running the country in the near future to come, they are breaking guidelines. So who to follow? Kenrick, who to vote for, boys? Have a good morning.
You're asking me a question which I'm not prepared to answer this morning. Well, it's one of personal responsibility. I mean, the government of they cannot mandate you. Well, of course, yes, they can mandate you to wear masks, but at this time they have not mandated you to wear masks. It's about personal responsibility. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Hi, morning, Kenrick. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning, Mr. Santa Cruz. How are you this morning?
I'm good. And to you, Nicole, as well.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I agree with Larry because I ran up in Santa Cruz for Santa Cruz food bath. Just when they swing off by the fire station there. What I'm saying, I just pull my mask down to take a phone call. I have security marking me. Alright, so I step out of the grocery and I'll come back inside. So they know to do that. But as Larry rightfully put it, it leaves it a wonder now. I don't know if it's double standard, or I don't know if they're being forgetful, or whatever. And that is going on right or wrong, all over, because some people who claim to be party group individuals who support any party. On the point you and Nicole popped up there on the papers, what how you call him, the outgoing MP said.
Yes.
How you call him,
Fitzgerald Hines, yes.
Okay, we have a lot of idle hands, and he did specify, how you call it, that part of Trinidad. Okay, but here the question, no progress. So you have to ask yourself why. Where are the social infrastructure? But at the same time, too, you have to also blame parents. Because the manners begins at home. You educate a child from home. So we have to ask, I would say, why is it reached to that? So all from the religious leaders to the politicians to the parents, I believe they are the ones who have to stand the blame as part and parcel of the problem where they are now.
Well, there are a number of contributing factors why these young men and women are reluctant to empower themselves, and I would have spoken about this on Friday.
As well as outgoing, there are also external issues too.
Well, you see, this is what Hines for actually being frank in his comments.
I would say yes, I agree with you.
He was quite frank. He said, look, there are so many opportunities available to this group of people, but they are reluctant to even take advantage of such opportunities.
Correct.
Yeah, and even speaking to some young men, this is according to the report as published, he said, look, some of these young, it has to start with proper parenting.
Oh yes, I remember the caller. Yes, I remember listening to that one. Yeah, and that caller is very.
This thing about community recovery program and thing, to me that is just cosmetic, because I would appreciate that the members of parliament in those communities are aware of the problems and the challenges facing the community. But you can lead a horse to water,
but you can't.
But you cannot force the horse to drink the water. You agree with me?
Well, totally agree with that.
All right. Let's give another caller.
So thank you again, Lockton, and listening.
All right, thank you very much, my friend, for your thoughts to me this morning, Nicole.
Henrik, I just wanted to let our listeners know that after 8 o'clock this morning, we'll be joined by the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Mr. Ansel Dennis.
Yeah.
This morning, we'll be discussing the reopening of the Bucco Reef Marine Park, which has been closed due to COVID-19. However, it's going to be reopened with new restrictions because he has developed a policy called the Bucco Reef Marine Park User Policy.
See, this morning when you come on, you find you kind of sounding sad or you want to cry or some kind of thing, but what happened, something wrong?
No, because some of the candidates I see, the United National Congress has put up.
You're honest. My mind, I tell myself that guys.
Yeah, I have a throat infection. Anyway, go ahead. What's on your mind?
You should have studied that.
Yeah.
I think your boy Munila get back to you.
Well, yeah, Munila is your favorite politician.
I feel they will win the election now, and I feel they will give back the people in the Carolina. And what Fitzgerald Hines is saying is a fact, and all of us know. Let me tell you something. You can't give no contract in Laventille because you have to pay protection money. They're shooting you when you're doing the work, and people cannot do the work in Laventille and environment. Because nothing. And when Gary Griffith come and say, hold back the contract because you're feeding them money to buy guns and arms and ammunition, they can't get back nothing. So they have to continue on that way. But they really want no work. They really want free things, like youth, like all them things. I know that a fellow was working in Forest and anybody. Oh, you hear about them, find out about them, fellas, and they will tell you what is done later on.
Very much for your contribution with us here this morning. Yes. Nicole, we'll be heading up to the hour of 7 o'clock. It's just about 24 minutes here to the hour of 7. We need to take our very first commercial break. And when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion right here. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us.
Hurry to 3C2 Rentals, number 77 Bonaventure Road, Gasparillo, for your business and personal tool and rental needs. Available for rent: coring machines, compactors, concrete vibrators, demolition hammers, drills, clarifiers, pressure washers, generators, welding units, trash pumps, hydrostatic test pumps, and so much more. We offer free around Gasparillo and at very competitive prices. Visit or call us at 650-2362 or 789-4581 for more information.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
Pipe, hollow section and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Davidson Safety Garments for all your industrial safety supplies. We supply a wide range of industrial needs such as shirts and pants, jackets, aprons, lab coats, fire-resistant clothing, steel-toe boots, and we also do embroidery and printing. Visit Davidson Safety Garments Industrial Supplies Limited at number 163 Southern 63. Our fax number is 653-9271, or you can email us at sales@davidsonsafetygarments.com. Whatever your safety needs, we
975 FM, hot like pepper, multicultural radio. Yes, we're back with our road shows. Be part of the U975 FM bandwagon as we bring you live broadcasts from locations throughout the country. Come enjoy our company with music, entertainment, and lots of giveaways. Stay with the U975 FM, hot like pepper, multicultural radio for greater programming as we hit the road again.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. This is me, right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together. So join me, Mukesh Baburam, for Talk Your Talk.
I have journeyed.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, Jesus is the answer.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. 19 minutes here to the hour of 7 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the PNM's candidate for the Couva South constituency. Thank you very much, Mr. Rampasad, for partnering with us here at 975 as we continue with our discussion with you. Note that you can call us at 636-7547, 227-5739. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Morning, Henrik and Nicole.
Good morning.
All right, I may add on what Larry said this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, in the cremation site at Caroni, they had 3 cremations at Wood. One that was going on, so Donna Cox, the minister, and whoever telling about the face mask and they're wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is yesterday at about 11 a.m.
No, but as I said before, a responsibility. It's up to you, the individual, to take all the necessary precaution. Because trust me, folks, when you look at what is happening in other jurisdictions, let's look at even Florida as an example. Florida last week, I think in one day would have recorded 30,000 positive cases. It's a record, and the coronavirus is with us. Don't let that escape you. The virus is to be very, very cautious indeed, and I agree with the Prime Minister about a reopening of the borders and so on. You have to be cautious in these things. You have to listen to the guidelines as coming from the medical experts.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
Cool, we're looking at the politics of the day. 2020 general election.
Yes.
I think it caught people by surprise when
Very
the
much so, very much so, because I mean, he has been saying, elections would be called. I was like, I need to hear this again. I had to replay what the Prime Minister said.
Because we would have left the newsroom just about 12:30
yes.
on Friday.
But I was listening to him, and I told you I had to replay. It was shocking.
It's only when I reached home, I heard the announcement. I said, no, you got to be kidding. Really? The 10th of August?
That was
I would have been under the impression that it would have been at around the first week in September. But the 10th of August caught me as a surprise. But listen, it's not a snap election.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a snap election. People would have been expecting an election date.
Yes.
But 10th of August, interesting.
Literally 35 more days.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Morning. Kenrick.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning.
Your candidate. The name, why didn't say a candidate is PNM for Hawaii?
Who's that boy?
All right, well, here it is.
Go ahead.
This boy out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be caught.
Yeah, 14 days.
How he campaigning? Why? I mean, you and me, the political leaders, so disrespect Point Princess, no?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for 2 weeks you'll be out of campaign.
Mm.
That's right.
No, well, probably he has faith and trust
he probably
in
has
his team.
He probably has his people on the ground as well, doing groundwork for him.
Well, if you're Princess down and you accept that somebody, the candidate.
It's not a matter of accepting. But go ahead, I'm listening to you.
If you were in that constituency, will you be okay with the candidate having operatives do his work?
Mm-hmm. No, certainly. I want a conversation with the MP, the prospective candidate.
Yes. You are not in the jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know when you're going to come.
Mm-hmm.
If you do come, you have to be quarantined for 2 weeks. Find the next candidate.
All right, but hold on. Let me provoke you and the listening audience a bit. I looked at the names of these candidates, the people who are out, and those who are in. You know what it's telling me? That these are what you call die-hard supporters of Kamala Prasad Bisesa, not the party per se.
Well, there are people who...
From her executive. You're talking here about people like Khadija Amin, right? Ravi Ratiram. You're talking Vandana Mohit.
Senator Anita Haynes.
Yes. Arnold Rama. And we can go on and on.
John.
When she sits at the head of the dog bar.
The only person missing here is Brian Day, you know.
All right, Kenneth.
Oh no, I'm serious. It's the entire executive,
more or less.
In a sense, the front runners of the executive, they are the candidates. And Brian would have told me quite recently, expect Kenrick some bombshells.
Yes.
Bombshell candidate.
But I know a lot of persons who would have, went up for screening and they were very much disappointed yesterday. And to them it was, and they've been doing the groundwork all the time. Huh?
Right. Certainly, I thought that, and this is my humble opinion, I thought that Fazal Karim.
Yes, that came as a surprise.
An excellent candidate for Shogunas East. He would have served well even as an MP.
Yes,
and
he did a good job. Yes.
And the person you would have now announced as a candidate for Shogunas East is certainly a surprise to me. So now that creates a vacancy. Who will now be the mayor of Shogunas?
Yes.
That's what? Are we going to see Fiak Mohammed?
Possibly.
We don't know.
Maybe not.
Or somebody from outside. We just do not know. I am totally disappointed in the candidates chosen by the United National Congress. This fella, Dave Tanku.
Yes.
He is the General Secretary of the United National Congress.
Agreed.
I don't think that the people in Oropouche West know much. I live in Oropouche West, so I can tell you. I live at Laramie, Bayview, Laramie, so I can tell you.
Yes.
I don't know who this gentleman is.
Yes.
I don't even know the people in the area, if they are aware of who this gentleman is, apart from his work as the UNC's General Secretary.
Yes.
You understand the point I'm making?
Yeah.
And here it is, Kumuto Manzalina, according to all reports, Christine Nuwalo Hussein. You remove her. And there's a report in one of the newspapers here this morning.
Dr. Rai Ragbir.
Where Dr. Rai Ragbir is an executive member of the United National Congress. Good person indeed, a hard-working man. But the fact is, you do not remove people because for a fresh face.
Yes.
Yeah. You have people in the constituency of Kumuto Manzalina stating, well, look, we are not happy. We are not happy with the candidate. Well, I don't expect everybody to be happy with
Yes,
the
you
particular
can't please
candidate.
everybody.
Yeah. But Barry Padarat, question mark behind him.
Yes.
Rodney Charles, I don't know. There are many people who are quite disappointed. Fans are coming from
Yes.
one Rodney Charles.
Well, I've spoken to persons in the Arima area, and they are expressing their dissatisfaction with the candidate that was chosen. They think that the candidate is not strong enough to contest the Arima seat. I mean, this Flora Singh is the candidate, and she'll be going up against Penelope Beckles,
yeah.
and we know Penny has a very significant mark on the people of Arima.
All right, let's take this caller on the line. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm sorry to have missed your call, but I think the biggest disappointment here
Yes.
would be Ramona Ramdial.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because on Sunday morning I was in the Shogunas area.
Yes.
And I passed in front of her office, and
Yes.
there would have been a number of vehicles.
Yes.
Hope that she would have been returned as the candidate
Right.
again. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning again, Kenrick.
And good morning, sir.
And this was the point I was making long since the last election.
Mm-hmm.
Executive who sits on the board, right, to do your script, they will screen somebody and take their idea. And today, look what you are just saying it, Mr. Sir, and they are going to aspire MPs.
Mm-hmm.
And the question lies to this now: are we going to have disgruntled and enchanted supporters of United National Congress who went up for screening?
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why in 2015 it went. And I looked at the people sitting down at that table who are screening away. A party doesn't have sitting MPs sitting down to listen to somebody who is being screened with their idea strategy in order to take the community. People who sit down and took these other people's ideas, give me one tap on the back and say, job well done. And it's with you. I am totally disappointed.
Very much so.
He would have been quite visible in recent past in articulating the views of the United National
Yes.
Congress. So there's some sort of bitter disappointment there. So too with Fazal Karim. Agree that she should not face the polls again. That is Vidya Gayadin Gopi
Gopi
Singh.
Singh, yes.
Yeah. She has done nothing.
Yes.
Nothing of consequence for the people of Oropuch West. Nothing, period. And I'm sure my good friend Larry would agree with me here on this matter. But I am totally disappointed.
Yes.
I'm totally disappointed. I am of the view, now this is my my
Yes.
opinion. I am of the view that the United National Congress would have been caught with their pants down when
Yes.
this announcement
Yes,
was made
very
by
much
Prime
so.
Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. So they had to hurriedly put together some faces to the public. And they did that on Sunday. Let's take this caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Kenrick.
Hi, good morning, friend. How are you going?
Good.
Well, I don't know, but I don't know.
Anna. It's Nicole, not Anna.
Nicole. Sorry. Nicole, sorry. But you're a Dookie too?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that I should say morning, Dookie.
All right, to answer your question, I don't know whether the game will be carried live on television or not. Well, I'm hoping so, because that's the only way that the West
They could
Indies
get an
Cricket Board-
audience.
they could get an audience
Yes.
and get revenue You understand?
That's why they gain the support of New Zealand and Australia.
Yes.
Because Australia want to play their one indoors just the same way, the same thing to and New Zealand too. But they want to keep the cricket, because if they keep that a little while, people forget it, like 3 years and 2 oil boom. Who started that? You feel he don't know that? Why he leave Lavantil and go on Maraval? Why his children wasn't delinquent? Why Eric Williams' daughter wasn't delinquent, and all of them, why their children go. Let me tell you something. This is my opinion, Kenrick. This is my opinion. You see that thing where Ansel Antoine said there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is a big meeting went on there, and that was talked about.
Yes.
Just like the Calcutta Shakwana and Lucaran is to talk about a certain house that belongs to a certain percent in St. Joseph, where PNM plan everything. If you check, I think it's about 80% sure. Somewhere in March, you will see in the Guardian and the Newsday, his name was badly to not to go back. So they use him to get a good name with the momentum. Jagannath's son gone and thief Dookie's mango. A whole year he doing the lady that. And once he thief it, but he had an audience, you beat your son in front of you. See? Don't do that again, eh? So me and you is good friend now. That's what they try to do, America.
So
you see, like a fire him. We like all the America. All those things we say about all the ambassador and thing, he feels so. Eh?
So Ansel Antoine was set up then.
It wasn't a setup. It was a plot. That was a plan. Just like the Calcutta ship. It was a plan. You're not going up by we putting up so and so. But look, here what we do for we. Go up there, and say this about America, and say we go fire and beat you and say, look, America, you see, look what we do, we like all you.
All right. All right, my friend. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for your thoughts with me here this morning.
Kenrick, we've been focusing on the UNC, and we have the Patriotic Front, and just last week, Michaela Pandey, she has not named any candidates yet, and I remember during her media briefing, she was asked as to whether or not it's too late in the game to put her candidates forward, and she said it's never too late. And then just a few days later, maybe by 2 or 3 days later, an election is called. So what does going forward into the election?
Well, first, we will operate differently. You do not have to be a member of the party that is the Patriotic Front to be a candidate. If you are interested in contesting, well, they will facilitate you. But she did also indicate that they are prepared to contest all 41 constituencies. Yes. It will be interesting to see who are some of these candidates, leading the charge for the Patriotic Front. Certainly, we're in for some very interesting times, Nicole.
Yes.
For some very...
As you can see, Kirk Waite formed his party. Then we have the MSJ. We have this. We're not hearing about the COP, though. What's going on with the Congress of the People?
In Trinidad... This is not a partyism. This is like a fete.
We have the PEP, the Progressive.
7 and 227-5739. Those are the numbers to get into our program here on Hot Like Pepper. Now, NACTA, pollsters, North American Caribbean Teachers Association, said the choice of candidates by the United National Congress for the safe constituencies could influence the outcome of the August 10th general election. Now, NACTA is talking about the safe seats. What about those marginal seats?
Yes.
Those are the seats that can sway an election, that can determine who wins the election. So. And I always said that you need to put strong candidates there.
Yes.
You know why I said that the UNC would have found himself in a very ticklish and challenging situation? Covering all of the old talk and have her as a candidate.
Kenrick, I'll have you know that I knew about this for some time now. I heard the talk that she was going to be the member, the candidate.
Haynes would be the candidate for
Tabaki announcement as well.
I knew that months now.
Yes.
But she is a hard worker, and I think that she will do well. She will do well in the Tabaki. She's coming up against the People's National Movement, Michael Seals.
Yes.
So as I said, very interesting times ahead of us, Nicole, as we
have a very interesting 4 weeks.
Yes, 4 weeks of campaigning.
Yes.
You'll see. I'm hoping that the pain does not revolve around character assassination, smear campaign, and what have you, but actually to deal with the issues of the day. We're heading up to the hour, and when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion with you right here on 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, the morning program. Stay with us here.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it ring for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
New 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for more. Brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Nicole Dukie on administrative duties. This is according to Police Commissioner Gary Griffith on a televised interview over the weekend. This comes 1 week after 3 men were shot and killed in an incident involving the police. The killing sparked riot action in Port of Spain and environs by disgruntled citizens on Monday and Tuesday. The Police Complaints Authority and the Police Service have both launched separate investigations into the Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has warned that people must not be fooled during this election campaign. He made the comments during the opening ceremony of the new Point Fortin Hospital over the weekend. The Prime Minister insisted that taxes are important to run a country.
There are people telling you that they're going to carry public policy. So any promise to reduce corporation tax is election gimmickry and whole-scale irresponsibility in Trinidad and Tobago.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister said there was a lot of money that was not exchanged during the transition of the old $100 bills to the new notes.
$1 million is a carry box full of $100 bills. You know, carry box? That full of $100 bills is $1 million. 100 million is 100 of those boxes. It's 500 of those boxes. That much money never came back to be exchanged.
And the people of Point Fortin were told that they will no longer be neglected. This assurance came from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. This came after he was told that the people of Point Fortin feel as
and I will make sure that you are not neglected and that your dreams are realized.
In some other news, campaigning for the 2020 general elections officially kicked off this weekend. This came after Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced that the elections would be held on August 10th. His announcement, the United National Congress has released its full slate of candidates for the 2020 general elections. Among them are Khadija Amin, who will contest the St. Augustine seat, and Vandana Mohit, who will contest the Chaguanas East seat. He's deputy political leader, while Mohit is the mayor of Chaguanas. Senator Anita Haynes have been selected to contest the Tabakit seat for the party. And Brigadier Answer, candidate for the People's National Movement. He was contesting the Dabadi Omera seat. However, in a statement on his Facebook page, the party's political leader Dr. Keith Rowley announced his removal. According to Dr. Rowley, this decision was taken following statements made by Antwine during the launch of the party's campaign on Saturday night. Rowley said the statements were not a representative of the party or the country. Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's time now to take a look at regional and international developments. We start with news from the region. Citizens traveling to the United Kingdom from Barbados can skip the 14-day mandatory quarantine period. This takes effect from July 10, 2020. This information was issued by the Department of Transport over the weekend. This applies to all travel to England by train, ferry, coach, air, or any other route. Internationally, officials in Spain's northwestern region of Galicia on an area of 70,000 people following a COVID-19 outbreak. Only those traveling for work will be allowed to leave or enter the coastal district. The move comes 1 day after the northeastern region of Catalonia imposed a similar lockdown. Nationally, Spain's outbreak had been essentially brought under control. The country has recorded more than 250,000 cases and at least 28,385 deaths. But daily fatalities have been in the single figures for most of the past 3 weeks. Spain has been reopening its borders to other European Union states as well as the United Kingdom in anticipation of summer holiday travel. Taking a look at the weather for the period today until tonight, Trinidad, Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles will experience partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with a few light to moderate showers. There is a medium chance of heavy showers or thunderstorms. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding may accompany heavy showers and thunderstorms. Seas are moderate with waves with up to 1 meter in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. The current temperature is 26 degrees Celsius. And this brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. newscast on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Nicole Dookie, good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Shake Leisure Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day. A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. For all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractor at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited, 665-333 Sanupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations. Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Cuba, for quality items, Super Quality Supermarket, and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Yes, indeed, and thanks very much for staying with us here at 97.5. Well, on the line with me now is the political leader of the Movement for Social Justice, Mr. David Abdullah. The MSJ will be contesting a number of seats in the 2020 general election. So let's take Mr. Abdullah on the line. Good morning, Mr. Abdullah, and thanks for taking our call this morning.
Morning, Kendrick. Morning to all your listeners.
The 2020 general election campaign is on. The Movement for Social Justice will be contesting a number of seats. You yourself will be contesting the party. No doubt we're in for a very hectic campaigning season on the hustings, on the political hustings. Mr. Abdullah, outline to us this morning what are some of the issues which ought to be articulated on the political platform. And as a voter myself, why should I stain my finger for your party? Tell us what are some of the issues. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have announced 4 candidates so far. We're contesting the David Martin Central seat with Rennie St. Rose, the Point Fortin seat with Ernesto Kiza, the Faizabad seat with our deputy political leader, Ms. Radhika Goldmans, and I'm contesting Point-a-Pair. We are looking at 1 or 2 more, and between now and nomination day, we will make a decision on that. So there's a number of fundamental issues in the country. I mean, specifically for Point-a-Pair, which is the constituency I am contesting, I am very focused on economic activity in Point-a-Pair constituency, the closure of the Petrotrin, and in particular the closure of the refinery, meant the loss of were very badly affected. That businesses that the fact that people who were working would then not have and lost their jobs would not have had the income to be able to patronize businesses in the constituency as well. So the reopening of the Pointe-à-Pitre steel mill are from Pointe-à-Pitre, and a lot of the businesses in Pointe-à-Pitre would have supplied goods and services up in Pointe-à-Pitre as well. So economic activity, jobs, vital, and that goes as well for my colleagues in Faizabad and in Point Forte, where economic activity was very badly affected by the closure of Petrotrin. And secondly, and very importantly, well, there are lots of the usual infrastructure works that have to be done, the usual problems of drainage and roads and water and so on, that come up all the time and as standard, if you wish, problems which ought not to be standard because we have had the resources in the country over the years to deal with problems like that.
Okay.
But on a wider basis, because we're contesting just a limited number of seats, people may ask, well, what's if you're not going to be in government? And we are very clear in our strategy. We had originally planned to contest more seats, and then of course COVID came and reduced our capacity to be out on the ground and move around to strengthen our position in a number of other seats. So our strategy is very clear now. We are of the view that MS, and when winner takes all, those who have lost feel totally excluded and marginalized. And so our position is that we need to create a balance between to make sure that whoever forms the government very well have a situation where neither of the two parties can form a government without the support of the MHA once we are elected into Parliament.
All right, David, you contesting, and you outline some of the issues which ought to be articulated on the platform. The two major political parties in this respect, the United National Congress and the People's National Movement. Are you by any means satisfied with the level of a campaigning thus far? Are the issues being articulated? Share your thoughts with me.
No, issues are going to be fundamentally addressed. Most of those parties have failed Trinidad and Tobago. Most of them, or neither of them, implemented legislation. Neither of them addressed the issue of local government reform, constitutional reform, criminal justice reform. None of them did any of those things. None of them addressed the issue of sustainable industries and diversification and so on. So in that sense, what we're going to hear is who thief more than who. That's what we're going to hear, right? And Bacchanal, and that is not taking the country for tax and so on. And when I've been walking around the constituency of Pointe-à-Pitre, people don't want to hear that. People are fed up with both of the parties.
Well, that would be my other question to you in your campaign, as you walk about and so on together with your other colleagues. What are the people telling you, David? What are they telling you? What are their issues? What are their concerns?
Well, apart from the fact of the standard, what I call the standard problems, which ought not to be standard problems of drainage, what people are saying, first of all, they set up, they only see at election time, and then they're saying that they don't see their MP. So that's one issue, and therefore people don't have trust and confidence in politicians, and I have to spend some time to explain why MSC and why I'm different in that regard, because I have, of course, spent all of my adult life representing people, whether it be as a student leader at University of West Indies, St. Augustine, guild president, and so on, West Indies players, when I was the Industrial Relations Advisor to WIPA. I've done that. So I've explained that is in my DNA to represent people well. That is one issue people complain about. They don't see the MP, they don't see politicians.
All right.
And the second thing they complain about is that really and truly they've been voting one way or the other, and different parties have been in government. The two main parties have been in government over the years. And all the people have got really is exchange.
August 10th for general election. Most people would have thought that the election would have been put back later on into the month of September or even October. Are you surprised by the announcement of this date? Were you surprised by his announcement?
We knew it had to come between the 10th of August and the middle of September. That was the window. Given the COVID situation and the state of the economy, they could not bring another budget in early September. The life of the parliament ended on the 22nd or 23rd of September.
All right.
So they couldn't go past that because a budget has to be passed before the end of October. So so we knew that the election would have had to be by mid-September. Sorry. So no, we weren't totally surprised, which is why our candidates were announced since the 15th of June, and we have been out in the field since then.
All right. Mr. Abdullah, share with me how challenging it could be for campaign given the COVID environment.
Well, it gives us a particular advantage, actually, in that, given how those other two parties get big money from big financiers who then expect to get a return on their investment by award of contracts if their party gets into government. We don't have that kind of financial backing in that sense, and therefore the COVID situation means we don't have to organize big rallies and that kind of expenses, but we can use low budget social media campaigning, and most importantly, we are meeting with the constituents. I think that is very, very important, to listen to them, to talk with them, to explain to them what MSJ is doing and why we want them to make a difference and to create a balance in the country. We want people to create a balance, and the MSJ can do that. Being in Parliament, we can then, in return for support of whoever is the government, to get things that they want passed, the people's interest, so that they don't bring things that are bad for the country. But more importantly, we're in a very strong position to press for fundamental changes and reforms in our system of governance, so that we have more accountable, transparent governance going forward, deal with corruption and so on, and also that we ensure that the government's, which is taxpayers' money, is spent wisely to create employment that is sustainable, diversify the economy, and so on.
All right, David, let's just shift gears here a bit. And I note, Guyana, this matter is now before the Caribbean Court of Justice. You want to share your thoughts with me on that entire brouhaha that is taking place in Guyana?
Yes, we actually issued a statement. It's on our Facebook page a week ago, at least a week ago, in which we said that it's time to end the charade. Now, yes, the CCJ is pronouncing in a judgment on Wednesday, which I suppose will be the final legal determination of the electoral process. But we actually said that, in our view, the votes that were being voted and identified as valid by the CARICOM Observer team, which showed the PPP Civic winning by 15,000 votes or thereabouts, that should be the outcome of the election, and there ought not to have had to be this latest legal challenge.
Well,
therefore, we actually said that President Granger should step down, hand over to the PPP Civic leader, and that the PPP Civic in return should make a commitment for a process of constitutional reform in Guyana, because you cannot have a situation where 50-50, 15 votes out of close to 500 votes cast is such a slim majority.
All right.
And therefore, unless you get constitutional reform, which will allow everybody in the society to feel that they are part of the process of decision-making going forward, regardless of whether it's PNC, APNO, whoever, or PPP Civic, unless you have a new system of governance in Guyana, you're going to get these very deep divisions, and that's very, very unhealthy going forward.
All right. You talk about an unhealthy situation in Guyana, David, but here it is, you have NTN, CARICOM, and other regional bodies actually endorsing the election results in Guyana. Do you anticipate that if anything untowards do happen, do you anticipate Guyana being blacklisted or sanctions going forward?
Well, no, you see, that issue of sanctions is something that those countries up north, the Europeans and the United States and Canada, they try to use economic power to impose their own view of the world on others. So we don't approve of sanctions. We do so. Unless which was clearly one where people were being totally disenfranchised, like in South Africa, where we had to support sanctions there because you had a white minority very clearly. People of color, African people, the Africans were absolutely denied the right to vote and so on. That was wrong. Or if you have a situation where you're coming into power of a brutal military regime, overthrow of a democratic government, and so on, as happened in Haiti when President Aristide had been overthrown by one of Raul Cedras. So in a situation like that, where it is very clear that the people are being trampled upon, yes, sanctions, international sanctions, not unilateral sanctions by the European Union or by the US and so on, but sanctions that are discussed under certain circumstances. But in the case of Guyana, no, we wouldn't support sanctions of any kind against Guyana. The very term blacklisting, of course, has ethnic connotations, and we should be very cautious about using what is essentially a Eurocentric term to describe.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure talking to you. We'll chat again later, David. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's the voice there of David Abdullah, who is the political leader of the Movement for Social Justice. He would have said that on his campaign trail, that people are totally disgusted with the level of, let's say, governance and representation coming from both the People's National Movement and Congress. To this end, he's saying that the Movement for Social Justice, well, their mantra is to create a balance in Parliament. And he did said to us this morning that government and Congress Party financial legislation and several other issues would be championed on his platform. Let's take a caller here on the line, Nicole, and hear what he or she has to say to us. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5.
It's in the air, right? And I want to find out something. This country is expected to open its borders very soon to come. What measures the Minister of Health, National Security Minister, the CMO has put in place in case that we open our borders to help curb the election? Well, is wrong, because we will have people who would like to come, who's residing abroad, and they would like to come and cast their ballot for their favorite party. As a citizen of this country, very, very concerned about the spread of COVID-19, I would like to know from now, as of this week, when the country will be open to the outside world, and what is the government and those in authority, even all the political parties vying for this election, what plans they have to keep our citizens safe from spreading this COVID. Have a good one.
All right. Well, Larry, you asking me a question as though I'm a representative of the People's National Movement or the government of the day.
Yes.
But I can tell you that the Prime Minister did indicate that the Election and Boundaries Commission will be working in close relationship with the Chief Medical Officer and the health authorities moving forward in terms of campaigning, or rather looking at how best they can facilitate people living abroad who want to come home and vote. But the election is not geared towards, let's say, COVID-19. The election must be called, and there are guidelines which will be followed. There was an election in Guyana in this whole France. We'll just have to wait and see what the facts, what the figures are telling us as we move forward.
Well, Kenrick, over the weekend, that was one of the questions that was posed to the health minister at the media conference, and he said that it would not affect the public health regulations. And so I think that everything is in place there. I think they have their plans in place to deal with situations like this.
We have a month now. Note, folks, that an election, People's National Congress, it is conducted by the Election and Boundaries Commission. And they, according to all reports, are working closely with the Ministry of Health to see how best they can, let's say, address the situation, especially given the COVID pandemic. Anyway, folks, it's just about 28 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. We need to take a commercial break at this time. And when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion right here, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancies and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Carry Care International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
Grand Diamond Hotel invites you to dine in our newest and exquisite at LP 12 Golden Grove Road, Piaku. Come and enjoy our authentic Thai and Indian cuisine, and our outdoor terrace would be available from the 22nd of June. We can offer you our indoor and outdoor patio and rooftop restaurant dining. All meats halal. For reservations, call 331-5013-320-1093. Our email address, chaitai19@gmail.com. Opening hours 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Takeaway and delivery services are available 11 a.m. to 2:20 p.m.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. This is Mukesh Baburam inviting you to join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together. So join me, Mukesh Baburam, for Talk Your Talk.
Yes, and you can join Mukesh Baburam a bit later on this afternoon. Yes, in the evening rather, from 6 in the evening until the hour of the program. Let's go to the lines again. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, good people.
And good morning to you, my friend Bawani Pasad. How are you this morning, my friend?
Boy, I wake up late.
You wake up late?
It's a good sign.
Well, the weather will have, will encourage people to sleep late in Bawani. But go ahead.
Well, I see 10 UNC MPs out.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised to see Bo Tiwari and Fazil Karam, 2 constructive members.
Now, Bo Tiwari would have been working the ground. He would have had a number of press conferences and circulating the views of the United National Congress. So it was certainly a surprise.
I was surprised.
What these people have in common here, Bawani, and you've been following the politics. Barry Padarat, Dave Tanko, Anita Haynes, Khadija Amin, Arnold Ram, Ravi Ratiram. What do they have in common?
Newcomers.
No, it's to Kamla Prasad Bisasa.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I am of the view, and I said that this morning, and who vexed laws, that's my view. UNC would have been caught with their pants down, and they had to hurriedly put candidates together, especially in those quote-unquote safe seats. I do not know who is this fella called David, Secretary of the United National Congress.
Well, yes.
What work has he done in that constituency of Oropouche West? Oropouche West constituency.
I have not heard of anything significant. I have not heard of anything significant.
So what greater representation he can make other than what Vidya Gayadin Gopi Singh would have been making?
I think Vidya was doing a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you hear in Parliament and her contributions and whatnot. But the party has made its choices.
Mm-hmm.
We will either succeed or fail with it.
Mm-hmm.
We have to wait and see. Now, as I confess to you, I now wake up.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear a little thing from David Abdullah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he is a
in point of view. Yeah, he's a candidate, yeah.
But I don't know if you had asked him about the disappointment of the people of Point-au-Pierre and surrounding areas,
Mm-hmm.
because he was a part of the MSJ or WTU team that, and whether he felt that, people would have confidence in him, seeing that, he was one of the architects, because he was a WTU member, only from that angle, right, that supported the destruction of Petrochin.
It was made by the People's National Movement, the government of the day. And, those are claims which have been bandied about. But in a sense, in our interview this morning, David Abdullah would have said that one of their objectives or part of their mantra is to ensure that the Pointe-a-Pierre refinery. But we'll see how that factors in the coming months. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but the thing about that is, even before you were getting hint of the company closing down, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Why did the MSJ not make a move to action?
Ask me a question.
I have had reports where in Couva South, persons have been complaining that they are not seeing their MP, and I'm shocked to see him back there again.
All right, let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Nicole.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Kenneth.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, but he did call you last time. He called you. They didn't call, but he did call over the weekend.
Are you surprised by the date? Are you surprised?
No, well, what I'm looking at is I think that party had prepare a budget. And what budget did I prepare before this election in order to please people? So I think he decided to beat the budget because if he gets back there, he needs to know what happened about. If he might hit them a hard budget, they can't do nothing because they are sticking them for the next 4 years. Like that, and them back up.
And
so I think based on the budget, he was a strategic move based on not having to prepare a budget at this point in time, just before the eve of the election.
And most people are saying, given the fact that the challenges facing those young men and women in Port-au-Spain would have been diffused, and he didn't want to wait until something escalate again. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, his strategically, how you have been appeased them get put the election for the back in November, December. For his strategy, from his point of view, it was the most selective date, and it was the earliest possible. He couldn't come earlier. Legally, he couldn't come earlier. So he didn't really have to do, and I think any one of us in that situation have done the same thing. And it's like, and being a strategist, I want to go ahead and lead in something. You had to go with. The reality and common sense.
All right. You are from the Princeton area. Tell me something. Within the last 5 years, have you seen any major difference in the Princeton area, like in terms of infrastructure?
Well, what I could say. I mean, you had a couple of challenges in the area, and you was vocal, you was there. And basically, you had me overhaul generally, but I mean, the complaint, I don't know. I don't know if the government had anything macro Princeton, but so far we were just there. But up in my area, we are with the water and the other things was kind of all right. So we are any major complaint really with that. But otherwise, I didn't have any. The major thing we had in Princeton was the challenge of the school. You know, by that Presbyterian school that had to be rebuilt. So that was the major challenge that faced Princeton this area.
That matter is still ongoing, and students and teachers are still complaining.
That hasn't been solved. So I don't know what things that have been placed to guide that. But that was the major challenge that faced Princeton this year.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your conversation with us here this morning. You can call us back at 636-7547, 227-5739.
So, Kenrick, I wanted to touch a little bit on this statement made by the outgoing Member of Parliament for Laventille West, Fitzgerald Hines. And I'm asking myself this morning, you had 5 years, you know what the problems are, and yet still nothing was done, and we have to wait until there was a riot in Port-au-Spain. Minister to announce a community recovery program. Why? So why couldn't this be done all along so that you would have been able to prevent most of the problems that these communities face? You had 5 years.
Now remember, politics, Chris, 2020 politics, August 10th. DD.
Nicole raised a good point there.
Yes.
They're so long.
No, but hold on. I think that, follow the trend. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley would have addressed the nation on Thursday, yes?
Thursday, that's right.
Right. He would have announced this community recovery team. And then on Friday, he called on the president to dissolve parliament and, announce a date for election. Do you see a trend there, Chris?
Strategy, right?
That's right.
It leaves the question what type of communication the Prime Minister had with his members of Parliament.
Because to the chest and pull a brilliant move on everybody.
No, but
the opposition, she excited. I don't think it was excitement. I think it was, surprise.
No, but hold on. My contention here is this. You address the nation on Thursday. You announce this on Friday. You announce the date for the election. Is it political gimmickry? And he spoke about political gimmickry down in South.
Yes. I think gimmickry is politics.
Politics.
Yes.
You get to a point where you had the COVID-19. Before you have a wave of that coming at you again, you say, right, Let me move before that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You had a revolution. You come and you set up something that you're going to have some kind of recovery program. You put it down. Don't wait for something to happen again. And then you have a budget to come that you do. You don't have money to run the country. You don't have money to give people a handout. So the thing is to call election. No, your best position is now. It's a brilliant move. What I would hear UNC both criticizing and, you know, they have money to get back up and all that. But that does something. What I am seeing is teamwork. She must have felt that she doesn't have a team. And we know this happens in the opposition politics camp all the time. You always have that descendant set of people, that type of thing. And she would have said, look, here what's going on. This doesn't look like a win election. And if I lose, my head will go in the platter. They're going to come at me to remove me. So before they move me, let me move them. Let me bring in new people who will hold allegiance to me. I can continue to run this party and take it somewhere.
So no, according to your argument, she's looking to cement herself in opposition.
You go back and look from Dr. Eric Williams J's Comedy Road. As Eric sees somebody looking at the code, Eric had all his people sign letter on the letter of Resident Channel.
Yeah, I remember that. That was in the 70s.
And he's sending you as soon as you look like you're a threat. Look, this COP. This COP, Winston Ducran, Mr. Clean. He took 3 women who nobody knew, and he didn't take people of strength. And that is, the party went through right there. He didn't take people of strength, he didn't want to be challenged. But she has, Kamala Basabi said, she has never backed from a fight. She has gone into every fight head on, and she's seeing, to my mind, she's seeing that at the end of the day, when the results come in, they'd be all wanting to put her in a platter. You know what? It's not my fault that we're here now. It's all of your fault. And who I could move, I move before they move me.
All right.
That's the story.
All right. Hello. Good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you, my friend. How are you?
I'm all right. Now, I want to talk about the economic recovery plan that they have for these hotspots.
Oh, is a community recovery team.
Program, yes.
Yeah, eating, they say they're going to do all these places. They spend their money, they get nothing from it.
No, to me, no, hold on. To me, and you can elaborate. To me, this is just political mama guy. I'll tell you why. Because I'm sure that all those members of parliament in Port of Spain East are aware of the challenges facing this group of people. Moving forward to ignite their excitement to vote for the party in the 2020 general election. Go ahead.
Well, I will see. Nothing came out of all their plan. The only thing that ever came out of these hotspot plan is a class of bandits. And in order for something to go forward, you have to get rid of these bandits. Thing happen, they go run to the people. These bandits run to the people, and the people cover them up and say, these good boys, and this is all that. Now you know that if you have a good belly walk, you have to take medicine. The police is the medicine. Look at what public opinion is swaying the commission on police decision. They now pay for it. First, you remove these people and then put in your recovery plan. These people are not poor down there, no. Man had a Range Rover and all kind of thing, and all this gold weighing down their neck and all kind of thing. That is what everybody in this hotspot want to be. It's not everybody, most of them. So I ain't worried about do what they have to do. People, now, they go all over Trinidad and Tobago now and robbing people and all kind of stuff. And when they go, the community want to riot and shield them.
All right, well, I hear you. Well, in this respect, I agree with Fitzgerald Hines. You know, I think this is the first time that he was spoken quite frankly about the situation in East Port of Spain. But we have some other callers on the line, Nicole. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 90. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
That last caller made me at the call. Yeah, because you're lumping all African people into one basket. If I was to do the same thing about Dole Change, then I could lump, because he was the biggest drug dealer in Trinidad and Tobago. He wasn't African. So, remember the dogs of war. Do you remember that statement?
Yes.
Who that came from?
I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
So that applies to the statement the gentleman made a while ago.
All right, but no. Okay, let's forget what the statement the gentleman made. I want you to respond to the statement coming from one Laventille West MP outgoing, Fitzgerald Hines, where he said, a growing army of idle young men in East Port-au-Spain is a danger.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Is a danger to TNT.
But that is what we saw on that day. They used the death of these three men for the action of the police. But nobody is making noise about the police family, you know. We forget
That's right. Yes.
that a police officer died.
Yes.
And he also has a family. And we forget that. So let's don't forget that. That is what started this whole incident. Somebody eliminated the life of a police officer within that community.
No. I am not talking about that, you know. I am talking about the statement.
I'm showing you where this thing stemmed from.
No. From the killing of those three men in Laventille area. It didn't stem from that. Don't try.
It's not a question of race.
Excuse me?
No.
It's not a question of race.
No,
it's not.
I want to get from you this morning, caller.
Behavior.
Right. And this is the first time that I am hearing Fitzgerald Hines actually analyzing the situation and speaking the truth.
No, because after what we saw on that day, after the shooting, any right-thinking person would see that if you look, let me explain something. I live, I think I said that to you sometime. I live in Tower where there's two roti shops and went in a mostly African-based community where there's a little lady selling roti, East Indian lady. But one of the best roti I eat comes from a poor, what we consider a poor community. And while picking up the roti about 21, 22 years, and he have a 7 or 8 fellas behind him. They are no older than 15 to 16. Who truck is that? Why do we take up the thing and them? And they start. Unguided young youths. That is the point he's making. One man. And here we're going on. That one man is influenced by a particular man in the community who has used his position to rile up these young men.
All right, no. We can go on and on.
Yes.
And you're making an excuse. I want to get the direct talk coming from you. Here it is. Okay, we had a situation last week, Nicole.
Yes.
Where young men and women would have, showed a certain dissatisfaction with representation and the calling out for justice. Nothing is wrong in that.
Yes.
But that situation in Port-au-Spain did not only start last week.
That's right.
For years, for decades,
Yes.
for decades, you had this situation in the Laventille East. East Prince is saying this morning, he's urging the young men to empower themselves.
Yes.
And there are, according to him, there are millions of opportunities to empower yourself.
We've been saying that all
Fails to
so
do so.
many. There are so many.
And look what he said. He said many Venezuelans in Trinidad and Tobago have found work.
Yes.
He recalled visiting a car wash recently, and all of 16 workers were Venezuelan. The point he's making, there are people who are prepared to work hard, but these young men and women, they are not prepared to work hard. They're prepared to watch the sky and watch the ground.
Yes.
And get rich quickly.
I always say that we have too many young persons in this country who are just lazy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And is your name, ma'am? I always forget. To the Honorable Lady and the Honorable Kendrick.
It's Nicole.
Miss Nicole?
Yes.
Oh, gosh, I'm writing it down on my little pen here.
All right, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Right, I hear a little truth for the first time.
Yes.
You think they go fire him?
No, but he's outgoing.
Well, he's outgoing, yeah. He's not contesting this seat.
Yeah.
He's not contesting the seat?
No.
So, for truth, Fitzy on the sideline? Oh, gosh, Papa. All right, listen. Please. There were options for these people to take and run with it. But what option they choose? They had options, you know. They had free work, free money. You have to remember, when they start, dude, it was the grandfather of the nation say, he go provide for them. So consistently over a long period of their growing up.
Hold on.
Free jobs without working.
No, but hold on. I mentioned to Mr. Maraj last week, I didn't Maraj. Social programs, yes. But social programs should not be...
Who represent these areas for far too long, 25 and 30 years, sustain in their mind that, hey, fellas, once all they hire a party card without you all have to work and stick with we, and we go do that for your mamu, your grandmother, your grandthing, all your children.
In essence, what
some people have decided not to go with our options, and you have a lot of bright people coming out of these areas. There is opportunity, but who facilitating, who encouraging them to go so? You understand? The other thing I want to talk to the Honorable Cecil Antoine Boy, he said Molilal was his teacher in UA. You understand? I like that boy, and they fire him. I wanted to fire him later. Or they fire him from a careless statement about the Americans. If they because a lot of people in Trinidad basically share his sentiment now. We're frustrated about America, but we're not going to publicize it on a platform.
No, hold on. When Donald Trump, you take issue with him?
Yeah. But what I'm saying, if we because I think a statement came, so the unsavory comments that he was gotten rid of unsavory comments of statement against America.
But listen, hold on. Don't you think that it is very interesting that also Dr. Keith Rowley would have taken issue with a statement coming from one Ansel Antoine? But hold on. That same Dr. Keith Rowley did not take issue with one call. What's the gentleman's name who spoke about the Calcutta ship?
Oh, very well, because the Calcutta ship wasn't coming from America.
Yeah, Hilton Sandy.
It was coming from the east. But my
No, hold on. Let's stay with this for a little while.
Right.
Don't take an issue with the statement coming from Hilton Sandy when he spoke about the Calcutta ship.
Yes.
Knowing fully well that it will not be much appreciated by members of the Indo community.
True. And then the yellow jersey lady up quite up in the north. Remember that?
So you see, is that people take action conveniently. But I don't forget, I listened to Dr. Keith Rowley talking about political gimmickry and talking about they will come to you and say they're talking about taxes and removal of taxes and whatnot. And do not listen to these people. Political gimmickry, let me tell you, for the past month, listen to this. The Curep Interchange, Arima Hospital, Point House Crossing Bridge, the San Fernando Waterfront Development Project, the Diego Martin Traffic Overpass, the Moruga Fishing Project. All this, tell me, what all these projects have in common? 1 month before a general election. Political gimmickry.
Election gimmickry.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you remember, you know what is his trump card? He closed down Petrotin, sent home 6,000 workers and didn't revolt against him in the local election. And I probably think he feel like will not revolt against him because he will continue to get them to do the CPEP, everything. Has chunk consistently will be with him, waiting for the little handouts the government is given. The other thing I want to know is if Camille going to get you walking people because you say, who is Trump? That's all I want to know.
All right, my friend. All right. Well, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. No, Nico, let me mention the projects again.
Yes.
The Curep Interchange, Arima Hospital, Point Fortin Hospital, Cross San Fernando Waterfront Development Project. And listen to Faris Harari smiling, showing all his titty too. San Fernando, it's your time now. Well, hello. Where were you for the past 5 years?
Yes. A community center was also open. I think it's Tarodale.
Tarodale.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5.
East, and I don't know who is my prospective MP.
No, hold on. Let me tell you.
Caroni
East. Just now, hold on. I have all of that in front of me here, But go ahead. I'll give you the information a little while.
Nicole, you see my son coming through the fast? Now is he like go be repaired?
Yes. Dr. Rishi Sitaran will be your prospective.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so that's Caroni East.
That's Caroni East.
Okay, and you kid on the block.
That seat was held by one Dr. Tim Gopi Singh.
Well, I know that. I know that. But what has Rishi?
And on the PNM side of things, you have Sharon Archie will be contesting the elections for the PNM.
Who would have served a particular constituency? I mean, challenge people and so on. You're well known.
Between me and you, I'm still looking to be appointed as an independent senator.
So
good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You never know. You understand? Now, this fella called Clarence Wambarak, I thought he was going back to Canada if he did lose the election.
Yeah, you said, well, if he lose the election, well, he lost the election,
He lost the election.
Yeah. But
he get a significant posting.
They made him a senator and then
minister.
Yeah.
Well, no, here a joke the other day, a question. He get up and say, I want to take on Wade Mark 1-to-1. Why did President allow that? If the Minister of Energy was in the Senate, he should have been allowed to defend himself. You understand? I said, well, look where parliamentary policy coming to now.
All right. All right, but we're moving up to the 8 o'clock hour, and we'll chat again a bit later on. Folks, here with 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, the morning program. Just let me remind you of who are some of the UNC candidates who will not be facing the poll. Dr. Surjratan Rambachan, well, he's of course the COP. Dr. Bo Tiwari, Fazal Karim, Ganga is out because he took, I think that he, would have challenged opposition leader Kamla Prasad Visesa on some of her policies. Out also too, surprising, Ramuna Ramdial, because I said I passed there on Sunday morning, and there would have been at least about 8 or 10 vehicles. I guess she would have been of the opinion that she would have retained that constituency for the UNC, but she is out. Vidya Gayadin Gopi Singh is out in. Dave Tanku, Anita Haynes, Khadija Amin, Anol Ram, Mayor of Shugwanas, Dinesh Rambali, Ravi Ratiram, and well, of course, being retained Dr. Rudal Munilal. Also in Dr. Rai Ragbir, Rodney Charles, the candidate for Naparima, and yes, Barry Padarat. But he too is in the mix of things. Interesting developments in the politics of the day. Stay with us here, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Let's go up to our 8 o'clock news with Uma Ratan Singh. Stay with us, 975.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
This is Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Uma Ratan Singh. Good morning. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has warned that people must not be fooled during this election campaign. He made the comments during the opening of the new Point Fortin Hospital over the weekend. The Prime Minister insisted that taxes are important to run a country.
People telling you that they're going to cancel this tax and cancel that tax and cancel this tax and cancel that tax, and I will give you this, and I will give you that, and I will give you this, and I will give you that. But let me tell you something. That is not proper public policy. So any promise to reduce tax is election gimmickry and whole-scale irresponsibility.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister said there was a lot of money that was not exchanged during the transition of the old $100 bill to the new notes.
There's a carry box full of $100 bills. You know the carry box? That full of $100 bills is $1 million. 100 million is 100 of those boxes. And $500 million is 500 of those boxes. That came back to be exchanged.
Were told that they will no longer be neglected. The assurance came from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. This comes after he was told that the people of Point Fortin feel as though they were being neglected.
Put me to work, and I will make sure that you are not neglected and that your dreams are realized.
While TNT's general election date is set for August 10th, 2020, action against the spread of COVID-19. According to Dr. Roshan Parasram during a virtual media conference on Saturday, the Ministry of Health is working with the Elections and Boundaries Commission to ensure that health guidelines are followed on election day. The CMO noted that the key premises are social distancing, wearing of masks or face shields at all times, sanitizing or washing of the hands before entering the center, and sanitizing before and after the ballot stamp. And in the same light of the Elections and Boundaries Commission, Fern Narcis Scope says there is no law requiring people to wear a mask to vote during the general election on August 10th. This after Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parasram no law saying no mask, no vote, and continuing that the EBC was seeking the cooperation of the public and political parties to ensure that all is being done to prevent the spread of the virus during the run-up to the election and on the day of the Narcis Scope said the EBC wants the full cooperation of the public on August 10th and is looking at providing masks for people who got to the polling station without wearing one. UNC Princestown candidate Barry Padarat will be allowed to file his nominations via an election agent while he spends 14 days in quarantine. This Monday by election officer of the Elections and Boundaries Commission, Fern Narcis Scope, who said the Representation of the People Act allows Padarat to apply to have an election agent file nomination papers on his behalf, and individuals in quarantine will be able to file their ballots on August 10th general elections. A group of TNT medical students in Cuba are scheduled to return home today on a Caribbean Airlines repatriation flight. The green light was given to the students to return home by email on July 1st, which gave the return date as July 4th. But when the change, was changed to July 6th, which was confirmed by CAL. The students said that they were told that they would be given instructions about the mandatory quarantine when they land at the Piarco International Airport today. And a look annually. The Caribbean's Health and Tourism Authority's COVID-19 Caribbean Tourism Task Force has announced a new initiative to help safeguard the health of travelers and employees in preparation for the opening up of tourism in the coming weeks. The initial guidelines include detailed checklists backed up by health safety training for various tourism industry sectors, including ground transportation, accommodation providers, food and beverage, and attractions. General health safety protocols have also been created and will be supported with training. A wide range section of employees and owners in the tourism industry. And now internationally. India has recorded more than 24,000 new cases of COVID-19 in the past 24 hours, taking its total above that of Russia. The country now has the third largest number of confirmed cases in the world, standing at 697,413 and 19,693 deaths. The largest surge in numbers has also been from a handful of southern states, including Telangana, Tamil, Karnataka. India reopened shopping centers, places of worship, and offices a month ago. For the last 3 days, India's caseload has galloped to an alarming rate, adding more than 20,000 infections per day. And on to the weather news. Today we'll experience partly cloudy conditions with a few light to moderate showers. Gusty winds, street and flash flooding may accompany heavy showers and thunderstorms. Maximum temperature 20 will be moderate, waves 1 meters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. High tides at 5:33 p.m., low tides at 11 a.m. and 11:02 p.m. And that's the end of the news to 8 a.m. Join us at 10 a.m. for a news update. I am Uma Ratan Singh, wishing you a good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day. A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your we have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 8 Yarrow. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Visits of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of items, supermarket, and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high-quality unbleached bromate-free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited, 665-3336, or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Hi, Sharon. How is your daughter?
Fine. She's 2 inches taller.
My son is 5 inches taller.
My daughter's class prefect.
Well, my son is president of the book club. My son... Fine, you win.
Newsday's newly revamped SEA test supplement helps students improve their chances of success. Let your child build today the future they want tomorrow.
Available in your Monday Newsday. Newsday, independent and credible.
Get ready. Saturday, 11th July 2020.
Yes, indeed, and thank you very much for staying with us here at 97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper. You with the morning program in your company. With us on the line now is the Chief Secretary, Mr. Ansel Dennis.
Yes.
We're going to get his thoughts on a matter concerning the Boko Reef Marine Park. Let's take him live on air. Good morning, Mr. Dennis, and thank you very much for staying with us here at 975. Good morning to you.
Morning, sir, and good morning to all the listeners across Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, my colleague Nicole Duki wanted to get your thoughts on an issue which has been brewing, the Boko Reef Marine Park. Now, there was some sort of a pamphlet distributed or some sort of information being shared on social media, or rather on the public domain. Could you tell us why was the Boko Reef Marine Park closed?
Right, well, basically, of course, during the period of pandemic, as part of the regulations initiated towards protecting us here in this country, all beaches were closed. And as a result, we took a decision to close the marine park as well during that period. Beaches reopened on the 22nd of last month, I think it was, but we decided that the marine park will remain closed until today. to give us sufficient time to put a number of things in place. Because, of course, the Executive Council of Tobago House of Assembly approved a marine park user policy since 2016, and it has not yet been implemented. So, of course, coming into office a couple months ago as the new Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, I knew it would be one of the key initiatives, one of the key areas that emphasis will be placed on at this point in time. So we decided that it was in the best interest of Tobago, it was in the sense to move towards managing the park in a more effective and predictable and sustainable manner.
But you would agree, Mr. Dennis, that the closure of the park would, in essence, give the park itself that much needed time and avenue to breathe, so to speak, into.
Definitely. Right. So all of that was taken into consideration as well. But we're also aware that the park is critical to the livelihoods of many persons in the tourism sector. Of course, Tobago depends heavily on the tourism sector. And we understand that during this time, the domestic tourism will be the mainstay of the Tobago tourism. What we are trying to do is to ensure effective and efficient management, so that at the same time, while we utilize this space to benefit us here in Tobago and to benefit the country by extension, it is managed in such a way such as to preserve it and to ensure that it's beautiful as it is now.
Okay, Mr. Dennis, in terms of the permits, is this the first time these permits are going to be implemented?
Yes, it's the first time we'll be implementing the permits. The law does give the Division of Agriculture, well, it's food production at this point in time. The Department of Fisheries, the park, will be required to permit in order to utilize the park.
Okay. Do you have a limit? Okay. Do you have a limit as to the amount of users or operators will be able to access the permit, or is it unlimited to anyone who wants to be a part of, the tours and everything?
Right. So to access the permits, there will be no limits. However, we intend to place a limit on the amount of boats and vessels that will be allowed to access the park at any point in time. And again, all of this is geared towards ensuring that we utilize the space in a sustainable way, so that we preserve it for not only us here in this chance. And I must add as well that jet skis will be totally banned from the marine park.
And how do you propose to have this being monitored on a daily basis?
Right, so we have in place an implementation committee, and that committee has representation from all the stakeholders and all the sectors involved. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has representation on the committee, Coast Guard,
right?
And we know that their involvement will be critical even as we try to enforce the new rules and the new regulations. I must add as well that the Act allows the THE to engage in some level called a THE bylaw, so we'll be pursuing that route, but all of this will be done in phases. But the ultimate intention is to have law or legislation at that level in place to ensure that we manage this space effectively.
All right, but you talk about the marine park will be open today, according to my information, yes?
Yes, it will be open today.
What about regulations in operating in this COVID pandemic? What are some of the regulations? And if so, will there be any other additional regulations as to what is outlined by the Ministry of Health?
Right, so here in Tobago, we are currently drafting our own regulations and protocols. And of course, that will seek to ensure that our hotels operate within certain parameters, and it will be consistent with the national guidelines coming from the Ministry of Health. So for example, our reef boats will not be allowed at this time to have 100% capacity. I think we're going to cap it off at 75 or somewhere around there. So boats will be allowed to carry persons up to a maximum of 75% of their capacity.
Okay, Mr. Dennis, I wanted to just move slightly away from the marine park, and I just wanted to get an update. During the COVID-19 pandemic, at the height of it, the government had announced that grants would be issued to hotels and guest houses for upgrades during that period. Conversation with Mr. Louis of the Tobago Tourism Agency is he had indicated that they were in the process of assessing the premises to see whether or not these persons were grants. So my question is now, are you aware or do you have any...
Being assessed, a number of properties have already submitted applications.
Yes.
Some have initiated contact and are in the process of compiling. The course of this month, we should start dispersing the funds to those qualified applicants.
All right, let's shift gears here a bit, Mr. Dennis. You are the newly installed Chief Secretary at the Tobago House of Assembly. How challenging it has been thus far, given the fact that you, I would not say a newcomer to the politics or the politics of a person, you would have encountered some of the challenges. What are some of the challenges?
Well, it has been challenging, I must say, of course, coming in at the time where the country was facing a crisis, not only the country but the world, because this pandemic has, of course, crashed economies globally and challenged a number of healthcare systems, including those in what we call first world countries.
Yes.
So it has been a challenge, of course. I think we have managed tremendously well in this country, both at the level of the central government led by the Prime Minister. And of course, here in Tobago, we have managed the situation quite well. But of course, we continue to be challenged with meeting the social needs, the overwhelming number of applicants. But I think we are doing quite well. But that has been the main challenge thus far, ensuring that persons who are without jobs, without an income, ensuring that they receive the necessary support in a timely manner. I think that has been, needs to be done. We are working feverishly at it, improving the systems where we can to ensure that we deliver to the people in a timely manner. So I think that has, apart from that, it has been exciting. I'm looking forward to, of course, the opening of today's Marine Park. I think it is going to signal a new dimension in terms of how we operate here in Tobago in a sustainable and environmentally friendly manner.
Two quick questions again for you. I saw over the weekend an article posted where you launched a Man Up initiative. Could you give us a little more insight into this initiative?
All right, so it's basically, of course, I'm a young man, 3 years of age. Throughout life, I would have experienced some of the same challenges that I believe all young men face today, navigating the challenges and difficulties that are all part of life. So I think as Chief Secretary, I'm in a position but also to provide mentorship, guidance, encouragement, and motivation to young men across the island. So that's exactly what the initiative is, a different community. Every Friday night, meet them where they are, whether it's on the block, at bars, etc., and sit and have some important discussions. At the same time, I'm using the opportunity to encourage young persons, young men in particular, to become part of this new
food production. My next question had to do with agriculture in Tobago, because I recall recently at one of your post-executive media briefings, you did mention the fact that you would like to see agricultural products from Trinidad, Tobago, being sold in Trinidad, and if by extension, if I want to, I might as add throughout the Caribbean. And I've been following you very closely on social media, and I see your desire to have a farm in Castara. So could you tell me a little bit more about the whole agricultural, the plans you have in terms of agriculture for the island of Tobago?
Yeah, so we're tackling it in basically 3 ways. Firstly, we are trying to ensure that land is made available quickly to farmers, especially those serious and competent and committed farmers. So we're looking at the Osborough Estate. That's one of the farming districts in Tobago, an area that is known for good soil. One of the challenges in there, though, is the lack of water, or the unpredictability of the water supply. So we have a project ongoing at this time where we expect to complete an irrigation district within the next 4. Through my office, we'll be reviewing all the lands in that area, all the leases, to determine who are the persons farming and who are the persons that are not farming. And in cases where we can find underutilized or unutilized lands, we will be taking the necessary action to put those lands into the hands of people who we believe are serious and committed to food production.
All right.
That one more thing. We have made a decision to subsume the operations of 3 of our companies here in Tobago in the agri sector into one company. And that is Kikoswam. That is the company responsible for providing cold storage to a number of businesses across Tobago. The Tobago Cassava Company, which had responsibility for agro-processing, and the responsibility for fish processing. So all those operations will be subsumed into one, and the hope is that that company will provide an avenue for farmers to get their goods from the farm to places like Trinidad.
Short-term projects, and what are some of the long-term projects going forward you would like to see implemented?
Right, so over the long term, I think we have to try as far as possible in Tobago to attract foreign investment. And we'll be moving towards that to ensure that we can get investors to come to the island. I know at the level of the central government, a marina has been pursued for Tobago for quite some time now. There will be some difficulty in being able to attract investment, but we'll be trying hard to ensure that we bring the kind of investment to Tobago, especially in the tourism sector, that will allow us to improve our room stock, that will allow us to improve our infrastructure, and attract the kind of facilities, etc., that will allow us to pursue tourism in a more meaningful and sustainable way. Over the short term, the main issue at this time is ensuring that we are in a position to recover from this pandemic.
Yes.
So I think approximately 1 month report is due at the end of this month, and that is the report from the Roadmap to Recovery by me as the Secretary. And that committee will be looking at the entire picture, particularly in the tourism sector and also the agriculture sector. And of course, generally, we'll be looking at productivity and governance issues on the island. And they'll present some recommendations to me in the form of an action plan as to some of the actions that can be taken very quickly and over the short term to ensure that we get to be on a more sustainable path to recovery from this pandemic period.
All right, Mr. Dennis.
So quite soon, because I'm the marine, I don't have it. So I'll take one more question.
Okay, well, we're actually going to wrap up now, and we want to thank you very, very, very much for your time this morning. And we wish you all the best, because I know you just started your term. And we're looking forward to coming to Tobago and meet you personally.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Dennis. Thank you very much. That's the voice there of Ansel Dennis, Chief Secretary at Tobago House of Assembly. We want to thank him very much for sharing some thoughts with us this morning.
As he mentioned that he's heading over to open the Boca Reef Marine Park. Yes, one of the major attractions in Tobago.
You know, Nicole, could have been closed.
Yes.
August well for Tobagonians. I'll tell you why. Because people would have trampled upon the park and destroyed marine life and the corals and what have you. So with the closing of the park, it would have given life, so to speak, that room for the park to quote-unquote breathe. And today the park will be open. All right?
Definitely. Okay. With restrictions and regulations, because these tour guide and these operators, they have to now have permits to apply their trade.
All right, folks, we're going to take a very short commercial break at this time, but I have a caller here on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. the Honorable Kenrick and the Honorable young lady, Miss
Nicole Duki.
I always confuse you, ma'am, and apologize with Anne.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I listen attentively to the
Chief Secretary.
Right, Chief Secretary at Tobago. And I listened to him. Basically, he's talking about some aspect of bringing back tourism. And I didn't hear. I might have missed it. Did he have Potter's statement? Because you know, Trinidadians for domestic tourism, it is essential. And if that apology is not forthcoming, I think a lot of the people who would have been on that Calcutta ship will not venture into Tobago until some sort of apology comes from the hierarchy. And I say no more. I'm leaving it at that. So that tells me how limited he is in his vision. The other thing I want to say, they're chosen by the UNC. Two things. One, we have we have women, a lot of women. The opposition shows loyalty, because there are a lot of people who basically have been loyal to her, that you have basically given seats to fight, even though they have failed earlier. For example, the St. Augustine candidate, she failed in Chaguanas, but she has been loyal. But more important thing, the UNC 2015, because of a part of the population was influenced by the cabal statement. And you know where the cabal statement came. It was driven by a former member of the UNC partnership. I think to go back into the election, we had to get rid of that stigma. And because of that, because I'm not saying we discard old men who have been in politics for 50, 40, for example, Botiwari, since 86, like 33 years in politics. But he has some wisdom, and as the opposition leader says, if she will be creative enough for that mix to come sometime in the future. The other thing is that she has chosen well, in the sense that she has, so even though there was people who challenge her for leadership, she used that as a point to say, yes, you challenged me, but you have been a dedicated UNC. And in that regard is Mr. Monilal. Mr. Monilal challenged her, Dr. Monilal challenged her for the leadership. But at the end of the election, he closed rank and he said, there is only one leader. And I'm hoping the rest of them don't do things that you should, disenchantment and things like that. For example, the Honorable Ganga Singh has bowed out. And I'm hoping that there is no.
Hold on. Only yesterday candidates would have been announced. Yes?
Right.
And we are yet to hear the thoughts coming from people like Ganga Singh, people like Ramona Ramdial, people like Christine Nuala Hussain, and Dr. Botiwari, and Vidya Gayadin Gopi Singh. I will try to get in touch with these people.
Let us see, because I believe one big family will have differences, but we have to look. The country is in dire need of some sort of spark to get us thinking.
But hold on. But do you agree with me, and a view has been shared with us this morning, that these candidates, as announced by Kamla Persad-Bissessar, are really loyalists to her? So should she not, let's say, capture government, she will ensure that she remains as the political leader of the party?
No, I give you some points that basically I don't think so. Kamla Persad-Bissessar has a certain amount of years to show leadership. We as the UNC cannot make the mistake again by not choosing a successor. And I'm hoping that's going to be the other strategy, to choose a successor moving on. For remember, we had a very well who doesn't want to ride out, and he didn't want to choose a successor, and that has been his downfall. And I don't believe we should reach the stage of accused, and I don't believe Kamla. I put in a bet on that. I don't believe she's that sort of person. I believe she will do the right thing for the country.
Okay, my friend. All right, thank you very much for your thoughts with us here this morning. Folks, we're heading up to the hour of 9, just about 25 minutes here to the hour of 9 o'clock. And we have some other callers here coming through. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I saw you, Fitzgerald Hines, talking about idle people in Laventille. That was a subject this morning.
Yes.
Right. And I'm saying that as a son of the soil and stuff, another neglect is front of the main areas of Laventille there. They have a swimming pool, they have a football field, they have the panyard right there. And he needs to look at developing that area to keep people busy. Keep in front of there clean and stuff. They have the football field. Have a competition. I hear Gary talking about sport. Anybody you could be, there was a football team called Laventille which used to beat everybody in town. Let's see who could, area there. Supposed to be centralized, because the pool there, the football field there, the panyard there. Let's neglect it, at least up there around that. That's where the strength of the community is. They bring in people, stuff like that. I want to hear that in front of there, a lot of garbage and stuff, and fits right up. If you say you want to keep them fellas busy, clean up in front of that whole area there with the pool and everything, and have their centralized people come in there. And there, a lot of things could go on in there, a lot of parking in there. Have the security
but hold on. You would agree with me that to ignite and to get the necessary enthusiasm and women in the area, that should be prompted coming more so from the Member of Parliament, yes?
Yeah, but if they're not doing it, somebody had to talk from the outside, like myself, who know what it is and observing it over time, right? To incorporate the whole community there, because the Panyard Red from swimming pool right there, the football field there, a nice big football field, not even a small, a big proper field. How we know where we say, listen, we have a competition, X amount of dollars for who could beat Laventille. People create that in the area. I mean, a lot of things coming out of the area that we're not looking at. Desperado there. What about all the Panman music that's playing on the radio and they ain't getting a cent in the neighboring rights and stuff? Everybody enjoying it, but nobody's saying, hey, these guys who playing on these tracks, if they are alive or their next of kin, let's pay them for the neighboring rights. Let's subsist in this music that everybody enjoying, fellas. That's how you're gonna at least for that, because you say you're good at that and stuff. Let's see if we could work with that and pay the artists whose rights are being infringed upon the media houses.
All right. Well, I hear you, my friend. Well, no doubt, a part of what you would have spoken about this morning may be also visited by this community recovery program team, igniting the young people of East Port of Spain. Prompting must come from the members of Parliament. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, good morning, my good friend Brian Big. How are you this morning?
I'm very good.
Well, boy, candidates, the United National Congress would have announced its slate of candidates thus far. Some are greenhorns. Some people would have surrounded themselves with the leadership of the UNC. Share your thoughts with me. How confident you all are of, let's say, grabbing power this general election of August 10, 2020? Your thoughts, Brian?
Well, I can say that of the selection that was done by the United National Congress, with the exception of the approval of the political leader. And what you see there is a mixture of youth with experience.
All right, but you talk about a mixture of youth and experience, Brian. But I think that the eyebrows of supporters of given the fact that Dr. Botiwari is out, and more so Fazal Karim and also Christine Nuwalo Hussein. Can you share to us, if you are privy to the information, what are some of the reasons bandied about why these people would not have been given the nod again?
I wouldn't have all the information. But what I will say is that I do thank those MPs who have given their service to the United National Congress and to the
Would you say, Brian, and I'm posing some hard questions to you here this morning, would you say that the non-selection of people like Ramuna Ramdial, Christine Nuwalo Hussein, and Vidya Gayadin Gopi Singh is as a result of poor representation?
However, we must understand that the political leader has said that changes will be made. There will be disappointment. However, there will be room for everyone in the United National Congress when the UNC forms government. Right? We have committees in the party. Right? Some of those same MPs was also saying the need for change. Right? The need for younger people. And the political leader has listened to the membership, supporters, and also you must take into account that Kamala Prasad has made it clear that all persons in the UNC will be given a chance to serve in whatever way that is in capacity. Calling on Trinidad and Tobago. Now is the time. Now is the time, Cedric. Now is the time.
Well, I hear you, Brian, and I want to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. Yeah, no doubt. Brian is the coordinator for the United National Congress. I think the Northeast District.
Yes.
And Brian, I want to wish you and your party all the best. But there are some concerns about and in the coming days and in the coming weeks, we're going to hear more and more from these people who would have been left out in the rain, so to speak. Nicole, we need to take a commercial break at this time, and when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion right here on 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us here.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rental specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Kelton Puran Manufacturers Limited of 44 Bay Road, Bamboo Village, La Romaine. Manufacturers, wholesalers and importers of wheelbarrows, ridging, roof bolts, hold-down bolts, nipples, washers, hinges, sag rods, face basin, brackets, shovels, spades, door frames, etc. 657-4716 and fax number 657-4952. Email us at keltonpuran.mltd@yahoo.com.
Hi, Sharon. How is your daughter?
Fine. She's 2 inches taller.
My son is 5 inches taller.
My daughter's class prefect.
Well, my son is president of the book club.
My daughter scored 90% on her SEA test.
My son... Fine, you win.
Newsday's newly revamped SEA test supplement helps students improve their chances of success. Let your child build today the future they want tomorrow.
Available in your independent and credible.
On the road again with U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio. Yes, road shows. Be part of the U975 FM bandwagon as we bring you live broadcasts from locations throughout the country. Come enjoy our company with music, entertainment, and lots of giveaways. Stay with the U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio for greater programming as we hit the road again.
Yes, indeed, and thanks for staying with us here at 975. And as our promo told you there, yes, you can look out for us. We'll be in various jurisdictions and months as part of our marketing and campaign strategy right here on
Kenrick,
975
I hope that
FM.
you're going to be a part of that and you're not going to stay home and everything, eh?
Well, anyway, that's another issue altogether because no. I'll be part. I'll be part of the project. Kenrick is going to be there. Yes, I'll be part of the project.
Very well.
Yeah. And note that you can catch us also too at YouTube at RCL U975. Yes. And also at 975radio.com. Let me say a very good...
And of course, to visit our Facebook page for updates throughout the day. And you can also view some of our throughout the day.
All thanks to Nicole Dukey. She's our expert here, in-house expert in this department. Anyway, let me say a very special good morning to Shiva Parasram, doing the duties this morning, making sure that we look... Good, yeah, so to speak, for you, the people outside there. Yes. So you can catch us live on regular COVID update, and that's from around 11 o'clock. Let's go to the lines this morning. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
And Kenny, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. I didn't see your name on the list of candidates, boy.
No, I always tell you, my friend, I feel that is exactly where it's supposed to be, my friend.
But don't worry, Brian said this morning, there's a place for everybody. Yes. There's a place for everybody. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing you on the campaign trail, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the hustings.
Kenrick, is there a place for you? Huh? Is there a place for you, Kenrick?
Well, no. I'm not a member of the United National Congress.
I'm just testing you.
No, am I a member of the People's National Congress?
I will be there, Kenrick.
Yes.
I will be there.
All right, share to us. What's on your mind?
Follow them, my friend.
Yeah. All right, what's on your mind?
Because I will tell you something. When I hear men like Abdullah this morning talking, men like Abdullah who was together with Roshdem.
No, but hold on. You taking
doing things and post on petitions.
No, hold on.
That man want to go and tell people about vote for he because why? The sake of petition people lost the job. And so forth. Nobody wants to listen to Abdullah.
No, you can't.
And then you go on point 14 and talk about how money is being boxed. You understand? You know how much money is being boxed, and telling people that they give me opportunity again to work for you because I realize and I know, anyway, I know that you was neglected for all these years, and the PNM control that board, that place thing, how it name Point Fortin. For years, you only send them move, and that man went and tell people they're gonna stupid. You know, I still gonna ask every question, and telling people also taxes what is be saving a country to run a country. You understand? I mean, gosh, can it come on? And then he told me, he say, here what happened? He said the reason why I didn't get no raise of pay, we didn't ask for no raise of pay. But then them is the same fellas and them who asked for raise of pay and Ganga Singh. Not because it's my party, my friend. It's the only hope. Because I talk to people in the East West Corridor, especially Lavantil, and they turn on and tell me they don't vote because it'll be the same thing. And then they turn on with their own voice and say, listen to me, hey, you know, under Kamla Fasad business, we life was better. You understand? So I tell them, so because in the end of the day, my friend, you cannot afford, this country cannot never afford to have a PNM, you understand, back in office. I know that, you know, she was my ideal is disappointed and others, you understand? But as I said before, the leader know exactly what she's doing because everybody asks for change, Kendrick. Correct? And when the change come, they mustn't vex. You understand? So all the whoever in this country come out and vote and get rid of PNM.
All right, well, I hear you. Nicole, I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised given our political culture. These UNC candidates, or rather, UNC operators who are not candidates, who have not been given a seat, I will not. I will not be surprised.
Yes.
I will not be surprised. That's part of the political culture
of
the United. No, most of the United National Congress.
But you also have supporters of the People's National Movement who would do the same.
Yeah, but in the main, those people who would have been rejected, operators, they show solidarity. They support their party.
Yes.
Unlike the United National Congress, who vexed with me lost. That's my opinion.
Kenrick, but you know, quite interestingly, a lot of people were confident and they were positive, they were sure that Anil Roberts was going to get seat to contest. And quite shocking, he's not in the slate.
Well, don't be surprised.
But then there's a position for everybody, so I guess, you know.
Don't be surprised. Should the UNC win, he may be in the Senate. We don't know. We don't know. Just take a
very interesting, though.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. I'm taking in the Constitution this morning.
Yes.
And I agree that elected, the membership of the party decided that based on the new candidate coming in, we are still going to support that candidate. On was there on the campaign trail, and you know what the present MP Ann said to us? With them doing here, who tell them could come here? That was the treatment melted out by the present MP Barry Padarat and people at the time.
Yes.
That was the present thing, and I am guaranteed to win Moruga Tablan. And I can tell you why openly they will not win Moruga Tablan. All the groundwork they are doing, they will not win Moruga Tablan. There are certain things that we told the political leader you got to do. You got to change. You got to do it for Moruga Tablan to get it. And I am telling you, they will still not win Moruga Tablan. I am praying it don't happen. I hope they win it.
Yes.
But hold on. Why would you say that the UNC will not win the Moruga Tablan seat? The candidate there is Michelle Benjamin.
The candidate there is a very strong woman, and I must say, the arena with a clean slate, an honest woman, a hard-working woman, right? But the constituency of Moruga, that constituency, 95% of the voters in that constituency were past Naparima constituency voters when they did the boundary shift. They created Moruga Tablan and they take half or 3/4 of Naparima constituency to bring it into Moruga Tablan, right? But the margin of how it is divided, it is very difficult to win that Moruga Tablan. If Michelle do what she is told to do, as a candidate, if she gets to the ground, which she is doing, I must say she is doing a good job in it presently, but it is a very, very hard fight for the UNC, for the Moruga team.
Right,
and bringing back Padarat into Princestown, they were disenchanted, loyal party supporters, right? And they are still disenchanted. They were looking for a change. They were looking for new faces in Princestown. I must say Padarat did an excellent job as an opposition MP. He worked excellent in the constituency. He did his best. An MP, he served his constituency well. Yes, he deserves a second term, but there are people still who are going to say that, you know, we were looking for change.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much for your thoughts with us. Nicole, it's just about 5 minutes after the hour of 9, and it's about that time where we bring the curtain down on today's edition of the morning program. Again, we're inviting you to join us tomorrow, 6 o'clock hour, where we'll do this all over again. I am Kenrick Dragonaut.
And I am Nicole Dookie.
Have a safe and blessed day, folks. You can catch us tomorrow. Up next is the Bees Hi-Fi. Stay with us here, 975. Well, we are in the political season, so the speaker comes out of the mouth of politicians. Stay with us here, 975.
Peace, Akia. Faith. God bless. Daddy, could you tell me what's the qualification that I must have to be a politician?